Okay. So now on the 28th of December, we've gathered here and I have invited people to bring into their awareness anybody who has passed in this year, sending them blessings, feeling your heart connection with them, your spirit connection with them, honoring them and expressing gratitude for all the gifts that they brought into our lives throughout the whole of our knowing them. Whether we knew them personally or at a distance, because of course, people at a distance, I'm thinking now of Bishop Tutu, right? Like that can't be his name. It is his name, Desmond Tutu. And thinking about all the ways he impacted the whole of the world with his emphasis on restorative justice and love and kindness and forgiveness. It's a great being who spread beautiful energy around this planet. And then also inviting people in this moment of reflection at the end of this year to bring into awareness, perhaps bring into your campfire or just into your awareness all the people in your life who have struggled this year, struggled with health issues, struggled emotionally. It's probably the biggest struggle that has been happening here in this world and this year. Struggles in relationships, financially, losing jobs, struggled with anxiety and concern about the future, and stress. So maybe we might actually envision the whole of the world, this beautiful, glorious, tumultuous, and oh so challenging world. And invoke healing for those we know in our closest, right? The ones we're most connected to. And then the ones a further ring out, right? And a further ring out, invoking light and healing and peace and love and harmony and health and resilience and strength. Feeling gratitude for all the ways that so many people have contributed to goodness in our lives in this year. Remembering to do the waterfall breath, the conscious breathing out and releasing of all the old charge, all the remnants, all the remains, all the smoke, the dust, right, from the turmoil of the past year. Calling on the divine again, all around us and within us and with us. Assisting us. Not just assisting us, but having the power to transform us in this moment. The more we can open our hearts, our minds, our nervous system, the whole of our beings to the bounties that are here being bestowed on us now. Our work is to open. Our work is to choose healing and to choose growth. And as we think about these struggles and the turmoil in our lives over this past year, I'm sure many moments, issues, patterns, repetitions of things have come up in your awareness as we've been doing this. And of course, there are many more that are not currently in your full awareness, but at some levels of background, right? And that whole continuum from conscious awareness to unconscious awareness, including superconscious awareness. All the parts and all of the divine aspects of us, all bringing together the residue, the access to the residue from this year. And so let's begin with some tapping on that. So even though I'm still carrying these effects from all the challenges and the difficulties, the worries, the angst, the fears, the losses of this year, the conflicts of this year. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I choose to deeply and completely love and accept the world. However, I can do that in a way that brings me more peace and strength and groundedness in love and in trust, in courage and in strength. Even though I'm still carrying the residue of all these disturbances to my peace from this past year, whether I am conscious of them or not, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. And I choose to deeply and completely love and accept all the beings in this world. However it is that I might do that. I choose to create no enemies so that I might move forward with peace and grace in my heart. Top of your head. And just holding now for a moment at the top of your head. Feeling yourself activating your crown chakra. And then activate your first chakra, Muladhara, the root chakra. And feel that light axis that runs through the center of you, from which all of the chakras spin off. And feel that light axis going all the way down into the earth, to the very core, the crystalline, sacred, geometric, crystalline core of the earth. That singularity, the very point of the interior of the earth, all the way up through us, out into the heavens, all the way to the central sun. So we have some place to anchor from the central sun to the core of the earth. We are light beings moving in constant, continual, essential connection with both these energies, manifest and unmanifest. We are the conduit, we are the connector at this plane of existence, and calling on the divine to be with you, moving your shoulders if they're a little sore, calling all the divine, invoking all the power of their assistance now, opening your heart, opening your mind, opening every cell of your being to healing and growth now. Then your eyebrows. So all of the disturbances of this past year on the sides. We've been living through unprecedented times that are impacting us at so many levels and layers and octaves of our being and our togetherness. Underneath your eyes, causing us to adapt quickly, hopefully develop more flexibility, more openness, so that we can be in more flow and less resistance. Above your lips, feeling resistance within us. Where does resistance within you live now? Right now. And can you choose to release resistance? Are you willing? Or how willing are you, perhaps? Collarbones, and however willing you are, I invite you to release, to command the help of all the divine beings with you. And ask all the parts of you, as long as they feel safe doing this, to open so they can feel light and love. And we can move into more flow on the sides. Flow. I think flow is going to be another really important word this year. Our ability to flow with all of the changes that are going to continue to come, all of the challenges that are going to continue to come. So perhaps this focus on continuing to release all the resistance that you can, and choosing to trust that it is safer for you to release some of this resistance, some of this fear, some of this holding on and clenching, not wanting to let go, right? Doubting. Those are all aspects of resistance. And there's much of that we can release and not threaten at all the feeling of protection that the most wounded parts of us still need. Okay. I came back up to my heart, or to the high heart center here for that. So let's go back down to the ribs. Letting go of all this residue, all the charge, all the disturbances. Wrists, letting go. Letting go in our bodies, maybe rolling your shoulders. We don't want energy that we are releasing to get stuck anywhere, right? So you have a good time to kind of wiggle here, all the way from your toes, all the way up to your eyebrows and your ears, right? So that energy keep moving through you. Top of your heads, releasing all of the charge in my nervous system, my endocrine system, and the whole dynamic of how my body reacts to stress, reacts to all the different emotions that I'm about to mention, right? We have a whole being response, even though we mostly just talk about our nervous system. We have a whole being, like every aspect of us is impacted by stress, by emotion. And so as we go through now, just keep that awareness, or know that it's there, because that will help you to release even more. On your eyebrows, releasing the sadness and the sorrow. I'm reminded here that this process of going through and tapping on the emotions, even though I've changed them, brought my own and done my own with it, I first learned this from Meryl. So in honor of Meryl Hershey Beck, on the sides. May she live in peace and joy. Thank you for that. Releasing rage, a feeling of powerlessness, that tension, that constriction, like where some people will know this as the fight and flight and the dissociative part of the nervous system, like all in freeze together, right? That feeling of being locked or blocked inside, underneath, releasing all the fear. How many moments? Oh, when I think of how humanity has really been conditioned to be more fearful and ever more fearful, and how often we now are bombarded with headline after headline of something that we're supposed to be afraid of. And how many fears we have for the people we love, how many fears we have for ourselves, how many fears we have for humanity in general, and for the world, for this beloved earth. You know, there's a lot. And just breathe them out. The anxieties, the terrors, the panic, the dread, the worry, all those different levels and layers of fear that we experience. Freeing ourselves. A person named Jim Durlacher, who was one of the early tapping people, wrote a book called Freedom from Fear Forever. For all. Above your lips. Releasing embarrassment. Any kind of embarrassment you may have felt, any kind of feeling for anything you might feel embarrassed, releasing self-consciousness, releasing insecurity about yourself, releasing any awkwardness or discomfort, discomfort with other people, right? That energetic friction, you know, or like static. It's more like static, isn't it? Not feeling, you know, it's like not feeling at home inside ourselves, not feeling grounded, not trusting. It has to do with, in some ways, not trusting ourselves deeply, not trusting spirit deeply, not trusting in the goodness of other people, right? Below your lips, releasing shame. Anything that you may feel shame about. Perhaps, I know I have said things that maybe I shouldn't have said and don't feel good about that. I guess that's more guilt than it is shame. There's a piece of shame that's about humiliation, right? Which is really about being humiliated in front of others. And so there might be some of that. There might be some of feeling I'm not enough, right? All those self-esteem issues that got so woven into us so early in so many cases in our lives. Releasing all of that and however that's impacted us in this past year. Collarbones. Excuse me, releasing our disappointments, releasing ways we've felt disheartened and discouraged, perhaps despair. It also occurs to me, because this is how I do it, this is what's coming out, the despair in the world. Taking maybe a couple of deep breaths to just breathe out the despair of the world. It feels like such a good word to cover so much of the challenging energy in the world this year. And for some, hopelessness. On the sides, releasing guilt and judgment and blame, and that tendency to react in fight or flight, which is where judgment comes from, right? Or it's related anyway, let's say that. On your wrists, releasing resentment, thinking of anybody like yourself, any resentments you, normally I don't think we have resentments towards ourselves, but releasing resentments towards others, resentments towards conditions, releasing frustration. How much frustration have we been feeling for how many different things this year? Releasing aggravation. Releasing intolerance. Perhaps intolerance we have felt, or experiences of people being intolerant with us. And even more powerful than that is aversion, right? Releasing any energy within us that unhealthily causes us to have adverse reactions, right? We want to have clear messages from our field and from our bodies about what is safe and good for us. But aversion is such a charge, and it zaps us, it takes away our energy. Reminds me of the Buddhists who talk about, walking that middle path of like not being excited and not being adverse. Excited is not the word, but not being adverse, but walking this middle path, which I think includes joy and peace and love too. Okay, back up to the high heart. And let's do about 4 deep waterfall breaths, remembering to start with your belly and breathe in all the way up. So you're filling yourself up completely. Holding that breath. Dropping it out. Consciously releasing the energy, the molecules of all of this that we've brought up and stirred up or reminded ourselves, or are freeing up. That's really the phrase I want. We're freeing all this. We're calling it out, right? Calling it out from every cell in our bodies. Every space in between and within the cells, calling out any residue that remains so that we can free ourselves for the exquisiteness of the journey ahead. One more nice deep breath. And now give yourself a moment to be with yourself, to feel into and with yourself from the inside how you are right now at this minute. Feel your heartbeat and the steadiness of your heartbeat. Feel the relaxation of your muscles as they let go and allow your bones to hold you up. Feel into your cells and notice the greater light within each of your cells, or imagine it. The more we do this deep breathing, the more we are freeing ourselves of that which binds us, that which separates us, that which holds us back and keeps us tight. The more light we can bring into each of our cells. So we fill ourselves with photons, actually really unequivocally strengthening our light bodies. And see if you can feel that. Can you feel the radiance of your own field? Or feel the radiance of your heart through your field and beyond? Or the heart beats and resonates and vibrates further. It is that which, from which we send our energy into the world, and it is an energy signature that is filled with the information of how we are right now in this moment. Knowing that in this moment, you're radiating more love and more peace and more light than before. And that's the only thing that matters. How much is not important. It's the movement that we make in the moments that we bring to consciousness. And it's a good place to feel more gratitude for yourself, for doing this work, for the courage and the strength, the determination, the commitment, and to all those divine beings who are here supporting you now completely. So wherever you might be, whatever place of peace and balance you might be now, we're going to move into back into some places where there is some disturbance, right? Maybe you've come tonight with a belief that you wanted to work on, right? Or you wanted to continue to work on. Perhaps as we've been doing this work so far tonight, there have been some beliefs that have come up for you. That you want to reverse. And so tonight, as we do this, I invite each one of you to select, if you haven't already, a negative belief, preferably a self-esteem belief that is one of the biggest blockers right now of your feeling more flow, more happiness, more joy, more connection. It could be a belief about being alone. It could be a belief about not being safe. It could be a belief about, all the versions, variations of not being good enough, of not being able to trust other people. And whatever the belief is that you choose, I invite you to allow into your awareness. And I use those words specifically. I'm not trying to encourage you to figure something out or to think hard about it or to get the right answer. It's just to be present with that belief and know that there are so many beliefs that are connected to it, that are related to this belief, interwoven in a web of the whole matrix of this belief. And as we do the work to reverse this belief, know that all the beliefs that are associated are being reverberated, right? As we reverse the energy, that vibration, that frequency is moving through all the strands of connection, reverberating out and helping to dissolve that web so that the balanced web of belief can take precedence. So we might take our analogy of the web and the interconnected beliefs and combine that analogy with the analogy of the rivers, right? And the neuronal rivers, where negative beliefs are things that we repeat to ourselves over and over and over again. They are programs, they are energy configurations from which we make choices, from which we inhibit ourselves, move forward, stay stuck, like trip up sideways. Whatever it is we do, those things come from this river of negative belief about ourselves. And we are continuing to build stronger, I guess, the neuronal river of positive beliefs about ourselves, of true aligned beliefs about ourselves. And so the same thing is happening, that as we're dissolving this matrix of one, it's allowing the matrix of the other to, it's almost like they change. One's in the forefront and then the other can move in. So the negative is, for many of us, has been in the forefront in different ways for so much of our lives, right? They probably play back and forth a little bit, but the negative is right there because it impacts our sense of what's possible. It impacts our feelings of being comfortable in the moment, our trust in ourselves, our freedom to be us. It impacts everything, right? And so maybe as we're continuing to do this work, we're actually getting some more kind of separation, some more space between those as the webbing for negativity, for smallness, the programming for what makes us feel small and bad and controllable dissolves. Okay. So now this belief that you're going to work on tonight is a belief that's connected to all of that, right? So you choose the place you want to work in this whole big pattern programming. We are about programming ourselves for sovereignty, right? For love, for capacity, for miracles. So, how do I want to start? We're going to go up here to the high heart and go through the way we do the belief work, starting with the negative version of the first sub-belief that holds this belief in place and the whole matrix. So let's think of the matrix. In fact, maybe I'll use that word. So even though not all of me wants to let go of the whole matrix of this belief that I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though the whole of me does not want to let go of the matrix of this belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though the whole of me does not want to let go of the matrix of this belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. And on the out breath of a nice deep breath, I want you to say, the whole of me wants to let go of the matrix of this belief. And we move to the next one. Even though it's not possible for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I'm going to love myself and feel better now anyway. Even though it is not possible for me to let go of the whole matrix of this belief, I'm going to love myself and feel better now. Even though it is not possible for me to let go of the whole matrix of this belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Deep breath. Remember to wiggle your body, wiggle your toes. Keep that energy flowing and moving. It is possible for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. Good. Even though I'm not willing, even though I won't do everything necessary to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now anyway. Even though I won't do everything necessary to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though I won't do everything necessary to let go of the whole matrix of this belief, I love myself and I'm going to feel better now. Deep breath. I will do everything necessary to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. Next one, even though I don't give myself permission to let go of the matrix of this whole belief that I am going to love myself and feel better anyway. Even though I don't give myself permission to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I'm going to love myself and feel better anyway. Even though I don't give myself permission to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better right now. I give myself permission to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. I do. I can feel it. I don't know about you, but I can certainly feel just a freedom happening right now. All right, even though it is not safe for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief that all kinds of reasons it doesn't feel safe, right? Hasn't been safe. And all kinds of reasons it's so much more safe now. I am going to love myself and feel better anyway. Even though it's not safe for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though it is not safe for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. It is safe for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. Even though it's not good for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief that I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though it is not safe for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. I'm sorry, even though it is not good for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though it is not good for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. It is good for me to let go of the matrix of this whole belief. Time to free myself. All right, next one. Even though I don't deserve to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, for whatever reason, from whatever parts of me may believe this still, I am going to love all of me and feel better now. Even though I don't deserve to let go of this belief, even though I don't deserve to let go of the matrix of this belief, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though I don't deserve to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, just dissolve it. Free myself of it now forever. I am going to love myself and feel better anyway. Deep breath. I absolutely and unequivocally deserve to let go of the matrix of this whole belief, this whole program now. Even though I'm not willing to let go of all the benefits of keeping this matrix of this whole belief. I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though I'm not willing, sorry, I don't think I said that right. Even though I'm not willing to let go of all the benefits, maybe I did, of keeping this belief. It's like, no, maybe there's still some reasons I should hold on to it. I'm going to love myself and feel better now anyway. Even though might not be quite willing to let go of all the benefits of keeping this whole programming, right? This whole matrix of this whole big interrelated, interconnected belief system. I am going to love myself and feel better now. I am willing to let go of all of the benefits of keeping every part of this, the matrix of this whole belief system and programming. Even though I don't forgive myself for having this matrix of this whole belief system still active within me, I am going to love myself and feel better no matter what. Even though I don't forgive myself for still having all of this woven within me, I am going to love myself and feel better now, no matter what. Even though I don't forgive myself for still having this programming, this matrix operating within me, I am going to love myself and feel better now. So I forgive myself for still having this matrix of this whole belief structure within me. Whatever's still there, because there's a lot less of it there now than there was a little bit ago. Two more. Even though I don't forgive myself for letting go of this whole belief system. Like, that's a pretty big thing to do. There could be all kinds of reasons, right? I'm not quite sure. Part of me is like, I don't know. So doubt, this really has to do, I think, with doubt. So even though I don't forgive myself for letting go of the matrix of this whole belief and this whole belief system, I love myself and I am going to feel better now. Even though I do not forgive myself for letting go of this whole belief system, I love myself and I'm going to feel better right now. Okay. Even though, so I do forgive myself for letting go of this, the matrix of this whole belief system. Even though I may not completely choose to totally free myself of all the impacts of this belief system, I am going to love myself and feel better now. Even though there might be some small ways I'm not choosing to free myself of this matrix, of this limiting and small, shriveling belief structure, I love myself and I'm going to feel better now. So I do choose to free myself of all of the effects of the matrix of this limiting belief system now. And you can keep tapping as you feel yourself energetically moving all the residue of this release through you. And move in your body. We've been sitting still for some time, so I want you to wiggle your toes and just move, and move your neck, Let your ribs move a little bit, your arms, maybe just shake them out a little bit. Drop your jaw and your shoulders. And let's take a minute or so to pile up all the residue. Just feel the energy within and around you. And maybe as that energy is flowing out of you, you might be able to see little memories or little, almost like little video clips of memories like flowing out. All the times and moments when this whole matrix of a limiting belief structure was activated in you, whether you knew it or not. That's a trajectory over many, many years and decades. You might even want to think of it as a dam, all the dams in Ohio where they release the dams and the water could rush free. It's what we're doing, right? Is letting the energy and the light and the love and the brilliance in us rush free and flow free. Continuing to release it, pile it up, let it flow. Think of it if it feels like water is flowing into the nearest river. Flowing all your memories, all that past, down the river. And you know that rivers, all the rocks and the vegetation, minerals, and the way the water interacts with the earth and the soil and the air cleanses, right? So all of that we're sending out is being cleansed to nourish the world. It's big work we're doing tonight here. And I think it calls for big images, big connections and alignments. And now take a few moments and feel where you are. How do you feel inside yourself now? Before you think, just feel now. You feel energy moving throughout the whole of you. Can you feel your field? Can you feel your heart? Can you feel your love and feel your light? Now, before we go, with whatever belief system, whatever matrix, whatever programming you are working with to free yourself up, bring your awareness now to the healthy web, the balanced web, the web of aliveness, I can't even say the word, aliveness and alignment, of activation. And what belief system, do you want to imbue yourself with, or feel the imbuement, if that's a word, growing within you, right? I belong. I am an essential part of the whole. I feel the whole with me. I am enough. I am more than enough for anything that I could do, could want to do, want to be, want to manifest, want to contribute. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I am filled with light. I'm filled with possibility. I am filled with capacity. I am brilliant. I am creative. I am capable of so much. I am capable of all that I need to be capable of to be myself, to honor and grow and share myself, my purity, my love, my gifts in this world. And breathe into whatever words come to you for your positive aligned web. The beliefs of sovereignty, of purity of heart, and feel the energy of this matrix reverberating throughout the whole of you, down into your cells, right? Remembering and perhaps even delighting in the fact that from this moment forward, you are transformed. You will never be who you were before, right? You are reconfiguring yourself, growing yourself, balancing, aligning, coloring, lighting up. Singing, dancing, the beauty of yourself into being. Okay. Marking this in your memory, right? Marking it in your consciousness so that through the week you remember to remember, you remember to be conscious, you remember to breathe consciously, right? So that you bring yourself into awareness so that you can manifest and contribute and flow as you are meant to flow in the energies of this time. And because these are the last days of this year, and that it is so important to be releasing all that we can be releasing this year, you might want to listen to this recording again and perhaps again. And whether you do that or not, whatever you do, know that I wish you a beautiful ending to this year. I wish for you whatever your heart desires for the way to celebrate the ending of one year and opening the portal to a new. Know that I love you and I send you hugs, joy and delight. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Be well, everyone, and feel the love that is all around, everywhere for you.